Hi, kindergartners. It's Mrs. White here. I've got another book and project to share with you today. This is one of my favorite books in the whole world, and it's called The Adventures of Beekle, the Unimaginary Friend. When I open up the book, I see all sorts of friends that have some really interesting imaginary friends standing next to them. We'll come back to that. That might be great inspiration for our project. The Adventures of Beekle, the Unimaginary Friend. He was born on an island far away where imaginary friends were created. Here they lived and played, each eagerly waiting to be imagined by a real child. I especially like this cloud friend right here. Every night he stood under the stars, hoping for his turn to be picked by a child and given a special name. He waited for many nights. It looks like this cool cat imaginary friend was just chosen, and there's Beekle just waiting. But his turn never came. I think he's feeling a little sad. His mind filled with thoughts of all the amazing things that were keeping his friend from imagining him. So rather than waiting, he did the unimaginable. I wonder what it is. He looks like he's on a mission, doesn't it? He sailed through unknown waters and faced many scary things. But thinking about his friend gave him the courage to journey on. Those are some very large whales. Until he reached the real world. The real world was a strange place. No kids were eating cake. No one stopped to hear the music, and everyone needed nap time. Then he finally saw something familiar, so he followed. If I'm looking on this page, I see a dog right here, but that might be an imaginary friend. He had a good feeling about this place, but he looked everywhere and he could not find his friend. Looks like he's at a really cool playground. He climbed to the top of a tree and looked out, wishing and hoping his friend would come. There he is. But no one came. He's waiting very patiently. He thought about how far he'd come and how long he'd waited, and he felt very sad. Then he heard a noise below. Hello? Look at it, it's that girl down there saying hello. And it looks like, so Beekle came down the tree and he has something in his hand. Her face was friendly and familiar, and there was something about her that felt just right. Look at, she drew a picture of her meeting Beekle for the first time in that tree. At first, they weren't sure what to do. Neither of them had made a friend before. But after a little while, they realized they were perfect together. So he doesn't know what to do, and then she calls him Beekle. And then he says, I'm Beekle. Hi, Beekle. So I think that's when she officially named him. Beekle and Alice had many new adventures. They shared their snacks. They told funny jokes. It looks like they're having a lot of fun coloring and creating together. The world began to feel a little less strange. I think that was that creature that Beekle saw walking down the street. And together, they did the unimaginable. The end. And as you can see, this book was actually inspired. Here's the author and illustrator, and this is their son, Alec, and they were inspired by their son to create this book. So what I'm hoping you can do now is, just like Annie created Beekle, I would love for you to create your own unimaginary creature. This could be a friend that you would like to play with. It could be something made up from mixing two animals together and thinking about the cool features of each animal. It could be something totally from your imagination. Your unimaginary friend can be whatever you want, and you get to name it too. And you can use whatever you have at home to make your unimaginary friend. If you'd like to paint or draw or color your unimaginary friend, you could do that. You could even ask a grown up to maybe try sewing if you have those materials at home. And then you could even make up some stories. I know in the book, Annie drew some pictures with her and her unimaginary friend. So maybe you could draw some of those pictures as well. I would love to see what you create. Please email your teacher and myself pictures of what you've created. We want to see all the cool things that you are up to while we're apart. So I hope you enjoyed reading the story of Beekle, and I can't wait to see your amazing artwork. Have fun!